guys, welcome to the channel, and this is another Sims 4 Diversity CAS challenge. And if you haven't seen the other ones, you definitely should check that out. I'll provide a link down below as well as in the top right corner. But basically this challenge is just to promote other cultures and countries that maybe don't normally get a lot of attention. And yeah, so that's really the whole point of it. I've really been enjoying it. If you don't know where Mexico is, I'm sure you know where it is, but it's south of the US. It's part of the North Americas. Mexico is officially called the United Mexican States in the southern half of North America, and it's bordered to the north by the US, of course, to the south and west by the Pacific Ocean, to the southeast by Guatemala, Belize, in the Caribbean Sea, and to the east by the Gulf of Mexico. Mexico is the 6th largest country in the Americas and is also home to many advanced Mesoamerican civilizations such as the Aztec and the Maya before first contact with Europeans. As I usually like to do, I like to show you guys some pictures of the people and the country. So on the left are some dancers in traditional Mexican wear, and on the right was Mexico City, and on the left is a Mayan temple, and on the right is a beach. There's tons of beautiful beaches in Mexico. On the top left, we have some sugar skull paintings, which is part of their Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead festival to remember their family. Quick note, it's going to change soon, but the little painted animals that were on the left, those are specific to one area of Mexico, I believe, but they're actually hand painted and they're really, really beautiful. They're a type of folk art for the Mexican people. And also basket weaving is another art form that people tend to do in Mexico, and it's just really beautiful what they can do. So as I was saying, the Mexican culture is very, very old and ancient. The first human artifacts, or the earliest human artifacts in Mexico, are chips of stone tools found near campfire remains in the Valley of Mexico, and radiocarbon dating has it about 10,000 years ago. So a really long time ago, people inhabited Mexico. The climate of Mexico is actually really diverse. It ranges from subtropical climate to completely arid desert throughout the country. Mexico has traditionally been among the most visited countries in the world, according to the World Tourism Organization, and it is the most visited country in the Americas after the US. Mexico is also really ethnically diverse. The various indigenous peoples, whites, Afro-Mexicans, and mestizos are united under the single national identity of Mexico, and the core part of Mexican national identity is formed on the basis of like this mixing of cultures, primarily European culture and indigenous cultures, in a process known as mestizaje. There we go, mestizaje. I'm gonna get there. Alluding to the mixed biological origins of the majority of Mexicans. The country has the largest Spanish-speaking population in the world, with almost a third of all Spanish native speakers. Mexican culture reflects the complexity of the country's history through the blending of indigenous cultures and the culture of Spain, which that's because Spain had like a 300-year colonization of Mexico, and so a lot of the cultural elements have been incorporated into Mexican culture as time passed. Mexican cuisine, Mexican food, is one of my favorite types of food ever, and it's known for its intense and varied flavors, colorful decoration, and variety of spices. Most of today's Mexican food is based on pre-Columbian traditions, including Aztec and Maya, combined with culinary trends introduced by the Spanish colonists because they were there for forever. Mexican food varies by region, of course, because of the local climates and geography and ethnic differences among the indigenous peoples, and because these different populations were influenced by the Spaniards to different degrees. The north of Mexico is known for its beef and goat and ostrich, surprisingly. So they're known for their meat dishes. And central Mexico's cuisine is largely made up of influences from the rest of the country, but also has its own authentic cuisine, such as barbacoa, menudo, tamales, and carnitas. And southeastern Mexico, on the other hand, is known for its spicy vegetable and chicken-based dishes. The cuisine of southeastern Mexico also has quite a bit of Caribbean influence because of its location to the Caribbean. And veal is common in the Yucatan. Seafood is commonly prepared in the states that border the Pacific Ocean or the Gulf, and the Gulf of Mexico is pretty famous for its fish dishes. Mexico's most popular sport is association football or soccer if you're from the US. It is commonly believed that football was introduced in Mexico by Cornish miners at the end of the 19th century. By 1902, a 5-league team had emerged with very strong British influences. So that's a little bit about their culture and their country, and basically what I'm doing here for her party wear. I was trying to figure out like how to do the Mexican traditional dresses that the dancers would wear, and I totally forgot that we got the Day of the Dead inspired dresses like not that long ago. And I was kind of like face palming myself because I completely forgot about it. And also like the hair that came with the Day of the Dead update patch thing. But I just ended up using the one that came with vampires. If you don't have the vampire pack and you'd like to download her, you can definitely use the one that came with the patch. I'm sure that would be fine. But yeah, it was so much fun creating her. I think she's so beautiful, and I just love Mexican culture in general. I think it's a very interesting culture, and I feel like Mexican people are so creative, and they're so kind-hearted, and just kind of like really family-oriented, I think. And they love to dance, of course, and they love food. So that's why I gave her the chef aspiration, because maybe she wants to be a chef or something. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one, and there's actually only a few left of the diversity challenge, which makes me a little bit sad. But I have some new things coming to the channel soon, so it has to be done. But rest assured, we won't be stopping, learning about different cultures. It's just going to be focusing on builds instead of CAS. But I'll most likely still continue trying to be more inclusive in my channel as far as like making sure my sim worlds are diverse, and because I know a lot of you guys in the Sims community are very diverse too. So yeah, that's basically one of the major reasons that I've been wanting to do this series, because surprisingly there's people that play The Sims and, you know, that are all over the world. And I just think that's amazing how international the community is. So yeah, so here is where I was like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about this dress. And the only thing that I wish it was longer, because traditionally their dresses are like floor length or like to their ankles. So it isn't like completely accurate, but it's so much closer than anything else we have in the game. So yeah, but that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna be messing around with the swatches for a while because I couldn't make up my mind. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this diversity CAS, and I hope you learned something new, and I will see you next week. Bye guys!